How's it going? This is my new used, damn, what the hell? 2016 Dodge Challenger Hellcat right here. 6-speed manual. This car I've been wanting for 3 years. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford it back then. I was working 2-3 jobs. My other car was the SHO, which it was a pretty decent car. I like that car a lot, actually. That was a pretty good car. I gotta show you guys it one day. I actually gave it to my girlfriend, which is not bad. She likes the car, you know, it's good for what she needs it to. It's all-wheel drive, V6, little twin turbo kind of deal. Made, I don't know, roughly stock was 365 to the crank. I think like 320, maybe 300 to the wheels, maybe. 100% sure, really. I did do some modifications to it. I tuned it with a little Diablo tuner. I did some upgrade tune to it. Bigger turbos. Did a muffler delete on that, which the car was pretty crazy. I like the seats in that too. I don't know. Those seats are pretty cool. Massaging seats, you can't beat it. That's a nice long road trip car. I decided to buy this car. I didn't pay much for it. This car's brand new with probably like what, 65, 70 grand, maybe a little more than that, with all the interiors and stuff in it. I'm not really sure. It's around there. It depends on what you get, really. It was pretty decent actually. I only paid like 45 for this one. Compared to what I was actually seeing in some of them, it was crazy. I was seeing them go for astronomical prices. I mean, when I bought this, it was like 17,000 and some change, almost 18,000 miles on it, which is pretty good. 45 for that much manual wasn't pretty bad. I seen them go. I see them have like 50,000 on it. People still want 50 grand for them. I was really originally trying to get a Charger. I had to get a manual. You know, save the manuals right here. Save the manual. A little 6-speed. I know the automatic's faster than this, but there's nothing like driving a manual car, especially like something like this 700 horsepower car. That's it's just crazy. As you've seen wheel spin at like look, 3rd gear. It usually doesn't wheel spin, especially because it's kind of warm out right now, so like it just takes off. It'll just take off instantly. Amazing. These cars are great. I don't do anything special, to be honest with you. I'm just a mechanic, basically. I don't do anything really different. I just work 2 jobs, you know, just to try to get some by. And some people are gonna be like, oh, why you work 2 jobs and you end up buying a Hellcat? Oh, that doesn't make any sense or anything like that. To those people, man, you guys are just just jealous or idiots, really, to be honest with you. If I want to work 10 jobs and buy a Lamborghini or something, who cares? To each their own. It's whatever I like. It's not what you like, pretty much. It just continue with it. And people telling me this car is only good for a straight line. The car actually corners pretty good, to be honest with you. I mean, it gets squirrely when it really wants to, but it's pretty good. Mileage on it, not too bad. I've been beating the crap out of it, so obviously I'm getting like 10 miles to the gallon, especially in the city. It's not really that good. On the highway though, I was probably averaging maybe, well, depending how long did I go, like I was getting probably 15, maybe 22 to the gallon, depending on how far did I go. You know, just stay the speed limit, like 65, 70 miles an hour, basically. Depends on what the speed limit is on there. You'll be fine. Just don't over throttle. A lot of people will try to speed by you, and this much power, you have to have so much responsibility. It's not just, oh, well, I'm the fastest thing on the road, I can beat anybody. What's the point of beating somebody that you know you're gonna beat, or try to race them if you know the fact that, what are you gonna race? A little Corolla or something on the road? Like 90% of the cars are like little 4-cylinders, and 4-cylinders are pretty fast. WRXs are pretty fast. All these cars are decent fast, but nothing you will beat this. Not beat it. Well, GTRs are all tuned up and everything, but a stock car, you will not get a 700 horsepower rear-wheel drive stock car, American car. On top of that, they just said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna make whatever I want, because of the fact that, why not America? And America, we are having this problem with the racism and stuff, but it's a different story right there. But America right here, This is gonna be like the last real American cars. Big American sedan, 2 doors. You get the Chargers, big American sedans right there. Huge long hoods, you guys can probably tell. And I'm not that far, I can actually get closer, but it's huge long hood, man. Crazy, man. Really good enough space for 2 people. And then you look at the back seats, they're super decent. They're not that big, they're decent, you know. You can fit a couple, maybe kids, grown adults back there, skinny adults, small skinny adults. As you can hear, the car does have, I think, a deleted mufflers on it, to be honest with you. Pops and crackles, does whatever it wants. I'm a 700 horsepower, put it at 5, which isn't bad. Usually I keep it in valet mode around the city because city traffic. You don't need 700 horsepower when you're going 5 miles an hour, and that's really silly. Like, doesn't make any sense. Especially when you're doing clutch in, clutch out. It makes it 100 times easier, which really surprised me, to be honest with you. Really, really surprised me. I was actually expecting this car to be a lot harder to drive. The way people was talking about it, how 700 horsepower it's too much, is this. If you have it in 700 horsepower mode, it's 90% of the time, it's too much for somebody that does not know what they're doing and just wants to always beat on this thing. This thing will reward you if you allow it to, but if you don't take care of it, and you actually take the car and actually abuse it, it's gonna abuse you right back. Look at this. If I abuse it, it spins. First gear. You know, just take it easy. That's all you have to do. So what I usually do is take it, tune it down to like 500 horse. Yeah, 700 horse is the best thing right now. You know. Tune it down 500 horse usually, just leave it around, and it's not too bad, honestly. Around the city, it's actually really good around the city. Just around 500 horse, that's more than enough right there. I honestly bought this car because I wanted it, and I love power, I love speed, and I love all that. And like I said, I had an SHO before. The SHO was really powerful. Well, not really powerful, it was like an average sedan, but it was a nice sleeper car. Nobody noticed it until you kind of beating them, or you just right beside them keeping up with those cars. And I kept up with that car with 392s. And I'm not saying 392s are slow, but they are heavy cars. 700 horsepower for this car is more than enough. More than enough, especially 500 horsepower. 392s are dumb fast. Just... it's not like this. This is absolute. Look, that's 500 horsepower is basically what a 392 has, and it's pretty fast. I didn't get a 392 because of 45. Like, you know what it can do at 45? You can buy a brand new WRX at 45. A lot of people say buy a brand new car. WRX, STI actually, you know. Civic Type R you can buy probably for that price. If not, depending on what the dealership doing, because they're ridiculous markup prices with those cars. Ridiculous markup prices. I was trying to buy those 2 cars originally, WRX and STI, but I kept being drawn to this, you know. A stock car with 700 horsepower rear-wheel drive. I always love my American cars. Rear-wheel drive American cars. Love my manuals. So you gotta save the manuals, 1. 2, it's an anti-theft itself. How many people know how to drive manual? Like, not too many right now. Not too many. Probably those old school guys and stuff. A lot of young people don't want to learn how to drive manual. And if they do, they either learn how to drive manual incorrectly, and any way is better than no way, but they end up blowing their clutch out way too early, or they just end up destroying the transmission, trying to shift it to a crazy, like, I don't understand. It's just astronomically ridiculous, to be honest. Well, it's just 500 right there. It's still crazy. past here. There's one right there, an old one, older ones. Those I like those. Those cars are great though. These cars are great, man. If you know how to handle them and you want one, you gotta work for it. I worked 2 jobs to get one of these. I had to build my credit. I got the SHO. I had to build my credit with that. And you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know, you gotta keep moving up, work hard, work as much as you can. You know, do what you gotta do. And the car's not the #1 thing you gotta get. Trust me, there's other things out there. But I work hard for this. It's nice peanut butter kind of interior. Let's look at the outside real quick. You know, it's nice blue. Aftermarket exhaust, you can hear it. It's a little dirty right now, but that's just, it's being driven. The car's gonna be driven all the time. Snow, rain, whatever you can think of. It ain't gonna sit around. It's gonna have miles on it. It's gonna have miles on the car.